King Loghain will not
Vieta! This land is held in trust for the sovereign dwarven kings. I cannot allow entry at this time.
King Loghain demands the allegiance of the Desher, or lords, or you call them in your assembly. I am his appointed messenger.
I don't care if you're the king's wiper. Orzammar will have none but its own until our throne is settled.
Who doesn't? If I don't get in, no one should.
Orzammar has no king. Endrin Idukan returned to the stone not 3 weeks ago, sick over the loss of his sons. The Assembly has gone through a dozen votes without agreeing on a successor. If it is not settled soon, we risk a civil war.
The Wardens killed King Cailan and nearly doomed Ferelden. They're sworn enemies of King Loghain.
Well, that is the Royal Seal. That means only the Assembly is authorized to address it. Grey Warden, you may pass.
You're letting in a traitor? And a foreigner? In the name of King Loghain, I demand that you execute this stain on the honor of Ferelden. I will at that. I'm a messenger of King Loghain.
Kill each other as you will, but take your sodding fight off my doorstep.
Oh, great. No wonder they stopped for lunch, too. Huh.
You've done me a service. That fool Imrek was barking for a week. Are all humans so touched? You are free to enter Orzammar, Grey Warden. Though I don't know what help you will find.
Atrost follow, Warden. Your arrival is a mixed blessing. We prefer that outsiders not witness our...
Show some pity for a poor old man.
Now that's a thing of beauty, daughter. If you work hard like Branka, all Orzammar will know your name.
Mother, I don't want to be like her.
Don't say that. You have a barbed tongue, Morrigan. Why do you treat...
It is the Assembly who makes a king, and a king who nominates his successor. None of it is carried in the blood.
Or, as now, when someone tries using the Assembly to pull a coup. Who's to say what my father said in his final hours, when the usurper Harrowmont was the only one by his side?
I'll have you thrown in prison.
You've bitten off more than you can chew!
Handlers, separate these Dashers in the Diamond Quarter. I will not have Balin incite a riot.
You will not speak that way about the man who should be king!
Blind idiots. I won't have fighting in the Commons. Especially...
What do you wish of me?
I find that soddy fool I'll have him in the Legion.
What do you wish of me? We are hardly alone, so privacy is not an option. It is your question, however. Ask what you will.
Vieta, Surfacer. I'm bid to let you walk the Commons, but keep your place. Warden or not, I want order. Surface problems. Well, we have no king to hear you. You can join the shouting at the Assembly in the Diamond Quarter if you want. Bunch of Desher lords bickering over sand. Balin, Harrowmont. Is one so different? No paragons here. They've caged themselves for fear of each other. As you've seen, keeping order down among us working people is dodgy. No place for a proper lord. Balin speaks through his second, Vartag Gavorn, in the Assembly. Lord Harrowmont speaks through Dulin Ferender from his estate. Yes, you should.
Wow. What do you need?
Excuse me,
Oh, this is grand. The noble houses
To
would
the
love
end
them.
of...
Luxuries
Orzammar
don't
be
pay.
nigh! Turn to Lord Harrowmont and assure the future of Dwarven society.
I heard there was a Grey Warden here. I am Dulin Ferender. Second to Lord Harrowmont, King Endrin's own choice as successor. Word is spreading that the surface may suffer a blight. It is shameful we are not in a better position to help. That may be, and that is a terrible risk for the surface. But even if the world would end tomorrow, Lord Harrowmont cannot ignore Balin today. He cannot afford to trust anyone of unproven loyalties. That's a generous offer. If you mean it, you might attend the proving today. The Deshers take it very seriously, and unfortunately, Balin found some way to blackmail or intimidate House Harrowmont's best fighters into stepping down. It would certainly make your loyalties loud and clear. Balin would never work with anyone who humiliated him in that way. Harrowmont would have no fear of meeting with you then. Excellent. The arena is located off the Commons. Talk to the Proving Master and tell him you're entering Lord Harrowmont's roster. The key fighters we lost were Guidon and Beisel. You can look for them in the fighters' preparation chambers behind. And be sure it's before the fights begin. After the first bout, no one may change the roster. If you need to find me again, I will wait in the Tapster's Tavern off the Commons. There is no better place to hear gossip. Perhaps even word of your victory.
Legion of the Dead sighted battling Darkspawn.
2 years tomorrow.
Yes, Warden. What is it? Yes, you should.
Do you think the tower is ever going to get back to what it was when...
I don't know. A great number of people died. It will be difficult to imagine rebuilding.
Look, I already told the Proving Master I withdrew. Do you have to keep harassing me? Nor I you, but it's pretty obvious who you're working for. I am. So if you're not here to... How do you know who I am? Don't think there's anything you can say to shame me that I haven't already told myself. If you're looking for seats, speak with a guardsman.
You new in the fights? I don't remember seeing you before. Was. Name's Guidon, and I just tendered my resignation. Somehow I don't think the ancestors will favor me today. I bet he did. That man thinks nothing is beneath him. Well, you could just tell him I had my reasons. It's not so much what happened, as what's going to. I heard from a reliable source Lord Harriman's already given up the throne. Balin called this whole proving to let his lordship save face when he concedes. Oh? And where did you hear this that's more reliable than a member of the Assembly? I don't think so. Lord Harriman's not talking to anyone these days. I'm sorry. You seem sincere, and I wish you luck. But if you're wrong, you don't have to live in the consequences.
The proving will begin shortly. I'm sure you can find a place in the stands. Or were you here to take part in the fight? Don't wait too long. The proving will begin as soon as everyone's ready.
So I take it you did not enjoy your Templar training?
That's directed at me, I take it.
Do you see any others about who have failed at their religious instruction?
I didn't fail. I was recruited into the...
News of the hour! 3 more clans endorse Lord Harriman as the...
Lord Harriman is a weak man, and he will be a
So
weak
this is the seat of the king. Except he isn't sitting there at the moment, I suppose.
Warden, welcome. It is always a blessing for Orzammar to host your order. I am Vartag Devorn, top advisor to our good Prince Balin. What news do you bring? Yes, the treaty. I've seen it in the Shaper's libraries. Now, the difficulty is, that the treaty only compels our king, and we are sadly lacking one of those right now. You must understand, Harrowmont hides behind his good reputation while sending spies and assassins. Balin can't know who to trust. It's been like a knife in the heart for Balin to see so many of his father's men stand with the usurper. That hurts worst of all. That Harrowmont would take advantage of the dying king's delirium to plant such poisonous suspicions against his own son. After that, you understand why Balin cannot trust the word of a stranger, however reputable that stranger might be. Harrowmont has engaged in a campaign of bribery and coercion to ensure that every house serves him. But if a neutral party, a stranger, were to approach certain key members, perhaps with irrefutable evidence of Harrowmont's deception.
Irrefutable evidence? Which I suppose you have?
I'm certain my Lord Prince would show his gratitude. Harrowmont promised the same portion of his estate to two different Deshers, Lady Dace and Lord Helmy. Harrowmont can't possibly grant it to both of them, but they won't find out until after the vote is cast. I have copies of the promissory notes Harrowmont gave each of them. Once they see those, they should both reconsider their votes. Lady Dace doesn't leave the quarter much, but Lord Helmy's adventurous, likes to spend his time at tapsters in the Commons. Remember, don't tell them you got these papers from me. You learned of them and drew your own conclusions.
The Assembly is in session. Enter quietly if you wish to.
Your mind has gone to dust if you think we would pass such a writ. Half our houses would go broke without the surface trade.
The proposal is only effective until we have a king to ensure we are respected by the surfacers.
Leaving you conveniently positioned to take over all contracts. I'll see your head on a pike first.
Deshers, lords and ladies of the Assembly, I've already doubled the guard to prevent violence. Must I summon more?
Steward Bandalore, Balin's sympathizers are tying our hands with trivialities. They may as well open us to the sky.
I suggest we put the matter to a vote.
And I suggest you have a taste of my family's mace.
Enough! The Assembly is in recess until the members can regain control of their emotions. Stone-forsaken fools and dusters. I'm sorry. This is the assembly of the clans. Only Deshers and occasional guests of state are allowed in. Forgive me. I am so exhausted. I completely forgot about the message from the gate guard. Welcome to Orzammar, Warden. I hope you can forgive our unrest. The loss of our king has hit us hard. Respect for your role is great, but you won't receive a proper hearing until we have a king on the throne. Troubling, but it will still seem distant compared to the empty throne. The Assembly is blind to all else. This is their world, and it ended when Endron died. I must admit, Warden, I am at a loss myself. It lies with Prince Balin or Lord Harrowmont, and they are slow to trust anyone in these uncertain times. I only wish there was more I could do for you.
A new offensive is required against the Darkspawn, says Lord Bailey.
What do you want? Ah, I suppose you're the Grey Warden everyone's talking about. Well, this isn't exactly a surface broadsheet. Where did you get these? Never mind. It is true enough, but there's nothing I can do about it. This deal was made on behalf of our entire house. Only my father can revoke it. He is leading a Deep Roads expedition, trying to secure an ancient Tig. It's unlikely he'll be back before the election, but perhaps this vote is important enough for you to brave the tunnels to tell him? The Dace family would be in your debt. Thank you. He was searching an old Idukan site. He left me with this map, in case his expedition never returned. I'll give you a pass as well. Usually, no one is allowed past the front lines. Good luck.
Lord Harrowmont! Melody! Lord Balin is the voice of anarchy and ruin!
Does that lead out to the Deep Roads? I hear they're crawling with Darkspawn.
What's this? A human? Did we make these tunnels tall enough for humans? I'm sorry, but I cannot allow you past the front lines without Adesha's permission. And nothing of any new patrols scheduled to leave today. I see you have his daughter's seal, so I will not stop you. But be careful. Just because the beasts are pulled back from Orzammar doesn't mean there are any fewer in the Deep Roads. Either we finally have the edge, which I doubt, or the beasts are building up numbers for the next attack. Best of luck.
Darkspawn. Slay them all!
I sense some Darkspawn. And I'm off. And I'm off. Have at you then.
Don't think so.
Perhaps we should have a drink since we've stopped. More Darkspawn, hey? Yes. Look over there! I and I'm off. Not happening.
Don't look now, but... well, look now.
Beware these beasts. Beware these beasts.
Another point for me! Are you daft? First one to kill it gets the prize. Yes.
That's a lot of blood.
Not happening.
All right. I'm off. All right.
Don't give up, man!
Careful. I don't think that's the last of them. You pulled us from a tight spot, friend. You have my gratitude. I am Lord Anwar Dace.
So what's a human doing out here anyway? I don't understand. What could... These are the terms of a deal we made with Lord Harrowmont, but... the charlatan. He's promised the exact same land to Helmy. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. I owe you twice now. My life and my house's fortune. I should not discuss such things, but it is definitely troubling. I don't think I could in good conscience support such a man. I must return now. My men need healing, and I want to look into this. Do you wish to travel with us? Then let us reach Orzammar before more beasts find our scent. Thank you for your service.
Questions arise regarding Lord Balin's impending marriage to a casteless commoner. Favoritism to the casteless suspected.
Told him I don't understand why the provings aren't open to everyone. I mean, it's how the ancestors show their favor. Do they really need our help to decide who's worthy? And then Lord Dennick Helmy, honored Desher of the Orzammar Assembly, and terrible disappointment to my esteemed mother, who doesn't like me spending time in taverns. You understand what I'm saying, right? On the surface, there are no castes, and it works fine. Am I right, Warden? You don't get far as the youngest and most outspoken member of the Assembly without keeping an ear to the stone. I heard there was a Grey Warden in town. No offense, but you kind of stand out. Very good. I guess someone already told you I was good for nothing, drinking my life away at tapsters. Or did they leave off at greatest shame to ever fall upon the Assembly? I've always liked that one. You know, most smiths and tavern keeps would make decent deshers if we gave them a chance and a seat in the Assembly. Orzammar is so mired in tradition, no one bothers asking if the castes are even necessary. Oh, well, I'd ask for proof, or why you care, but frankly, I'm so tired of it I'm not even surprised anymore. I don't even want the land, but my house would kill me if I turned it down. Responsibilities, you know. Now I'll have to go through the whole process of rejecting the deal. And they'll both have to try something else. And I thought it was going to be a nice day. Otherwise, my whole house will be humiliated. Doesn't make a difference anyway, one's as bad as the next.
News of the hour! Support Lord Balin! News of the hour! Lord Harrowmont entrenched in the pass. How long can he ignore that Orzammar?
Atrashval.
Well, I hear there were a few angry messengers sent to the Harrowmont estate a moment ago. So you were serious about wanting to help us. Are you ready to meet Balin now? I warn you, be on your best behavior, and keep your weapons sheathed.
I am impressed, Warden. Not many outsiders so quickly grasp Orzammar's rather convoluted politics. I am Prince Balin. Fartag told me of your efforts against the usurper who tried to claim my father's throne. Then we have a common goal. We may not like each other, but the Blight is our first priority. We need absolute unity to fight against the fulcrum of true evil. Absolutely. And sworn on the mail of my ancestors as soon as Orzammar is united under my rule. Unfortunately, while this debate rages, I have no power to send the troops you need. You've seen for yourself, the city is a slaughterhouse. Criminals run lawless. I could never hold the throne if I allowed such chaos. Jarvia and her Carta are behind this bedlam. If you can eliminate them, I promise as king, I will send as many troops as you need to fight the Darkspawn. Unfortunately, I have little information on Jarvia. Her base of power is in Dust Town, the lowest part of the city, and my men have few sources there. Maybe the castless will talk more freely with a stranger. And I will wait eagerly for your return.